But be that as it may, Mr. President, this is a legal issue which I do not wish to delve into. I am very grateful to Secretary Duque for acceding to our request.
This is Life in the Philippines. Breaking news alert.
Hello, welcome to Life in the Philippines. I'm BobbieD. In today's video, we'll show you how Cebu Governor Gwen Garcia defies the IATF National Quarantine Protocols. Watch this video to the end for a better understanding. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Gov Gwen, are you aware of the recent pronouncement from Secretary Roque that the president has ordered LGUs to follow IATF quarantine protocol for OFWs and ROFs? May I get your comment and reaction on this?
Yes, Senator Wong. I am aware of that. And at the outset, allow me to say that I have only deep respect for the president and the office that he represents. As governor of the province of Cebu, I am also mindful of the fact that a greater majority of the Cebuanos support the president. In fact, in the last presidential election, President Duterte got a majority of 1.2 million votes, a margin of 1.2 million votes over his closest rival. So with that in mind, allow me also to state that I also have great respect for the rule of law. In Cebu, we are not only talking about an executive order, but a provincial board ordinance that was passed by our provincial board unanimously, adopting the protocols of my executive order. As we all know, a provincial ordinance, unless declared ultra vires in a proper court, is the local law of the land, in accordance with Republic Act 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code. And so, out of deep respect to the President, I shall be asking our provincial board members to revisit the ordinance, and this time to invite the technical advisors or medical experts that Secretary Duque continues to refer to invite over to the province of Cebu so that they could present their own data. You see, in the last meeting that we had with the President had requested Secretary Duque to present a critique of the Cebu Protocol. We had not been furnished a copy of that critique. And so we are unaware, particularly where we could go wrong. So we respect the opinion of the medical experts of Secretary Duque. And they will be kindly invited, including members of the IATF who may wish to accept our invitation before the provincial board so that they shall be guided accordingly. A revisit of the ordinance I shall be requesting because I cannot unilaterally set aside the implementation of an ordinance, lest I be accused of dereliction of duty. But that is as much as I can do. Request the provincial board to study the ordinance after the medical experts' critique and opinions shall be lengthily presented and discussed here in the province of Cebu at the Capital Social Hall. I am right now extending that invitation, and I am glad that I heard Secretary Duque himself saying he is open for adjustments. I heard Secretary Anyo say that about the same thing. And so let us reach out and try to meet common ground. I had presented our data. Secretary Duque keeps on insisting that Dr. Salvania presents his. But I am known, it's out of my hands. This is a provincial board ordinance that the provincial board has tasked me to implement as the chief executive of the province. So that's our position, Senator.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Governor. Pwede po ba natin hingan ng reaction ni Secretary Duque regarding Governor's Gwen statement?
President, Mr. President, with the permission of Senator Bong.
Yes, Madam Senator.
Just a clarification, Mr. President. Gov Gwen, ibig sabihin ba neto, hindi niyo susundin yung IATF protocol that was ordered by the President?
Ang ibig sabihin po, Senator Binay, right now there is an ordinance enforced in the province of Cebu.
Yes, Gov Gwen, which is not what is being ordered by IATF, right? So technically, you're not going to follow the IATF protocol, correct?
Well, until this ordinance, as I said, would be declared ultra vires in the PROC report. Because we are put in a legal bind here.
Okay, so
The
parang,
IATF
what you're
guidelines.
saying, so what you're saying, walang bearing yung pronouncement ng President dun sa protocol that should be followed by Cebu, correct? I mean,
You are
that is a
sorry.
consequence,
You're putting the words into my mouth. I had premised my statement by saying that I have only the deepest respect for the president, and I continue to support the president even as the greater majority of Cebuanos support him. It was what I wish to point out too, that we also have the deepest respect for the rule of law. And that is what each of our oaths of office demand of us.
Okay, thank you, Senator Bong. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, Secretary Duque, yours.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President, and Mr. Senator Bong. First of all, I'd like to thank the provincial governor for her open invitation. I'll take it up. I will present it to the IATF. There's a standing invitation for our some select members of the IATF and also the group of experts to be able to present the critique that they put together in response to the presidential directive last May 31st. So we will arrange for that particular meeting where we will be asking for an opportunity to present the critique. We will send also the good governor the critique on this afternoon or at the latest tomorrow morning. And my apologies that you were not furnished the critique, but with my reassurance, we will provide you such. But certainly, we would love to get our experts to visit Cebu province and to present their own data, why they are of certainty that the protocol that is nationally adopted is the way to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Secretary Anyo, go ahead.
I just like to react on the legality on the resolution or ordinances passed by the provincial government. The IATF resolutions on their protocols are binding and mandatory. The rules and policies of local government units are expected to conform The IATF was created pursuant to Executive Order number 168. An executive order is an issuance of the President pursuant to his ordinance power, which, according to Book 3, Title 1, Chapter 2, Section 2 of the Admin Code of 1987, refers to acts of the President providing for rules of a general or permanent character in implementation of the execution of constitutional or statutory powers. In other words, executive orders state mandatory requirements for the executive branch and have the effect of law. They are issued in relation to a law passed by Congress or based on powers granted to the President in the Constitution and must be consistent with those authorities. And since local government units are under the executive branch, they are expected to follow the command of the national government exercised to the executive power of the chief executive. Hence, no amount of an executive order or ordinance from the province can therefore defeat this power of the President, rooted on the constitutional precept, considering that the Constitution is a fundamental and highest law of the land. So, in other words po, hindi mo po kailangan ng objectivo because at the first instance, the ordinance or the resolution is in the first place opposing the resolution that has been approved by the President. So, yun na po the comment, Mr. President.
Chairman, just a point of
Mr.
clarification. Go ahead.
Yes.
In effect, what you're saying is the President can override a provincial board resolution or a municipal ordinance. That's what you're saying, Secretary.
Yes, Your Honor, being the chief executive and the head of the executive branch as mandated in the Constitution.
Via an executive order.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, if I may, Mr. President, the IATF was created, yes, by virtue of Executive Order 168, signed by then President Noynoy Aquino. The chairman of the IATF is the Secretary of Health. Now, under the Local Government Code, which is a Republic Act 7160, and we all know, lawyers here would know the order of importance between a national law, an executive order, and a provincial or municipal ordinance. But I am quoting a national law, Republic Act 7160, which ensures local autonomy in accordance also with the Constitution. And Section 105 states that in cases of epidemics, pestilence, and other widespread public health dangers, the Secretary of Health may, upon the direction of the President and in consultation with the local government unit concerned, temporarily assume direct supervision and control over health operations in any local government unit for the duration of the emergency, but in no case exceeding a cumulative period of 6 months. With the concurrence of the local government unit concerned, the period for such direct national control and supervision may be further extended. But be that as it may, Mr. President, this is a legal issue which I do not wish to delve into. I am very grateful to Secretary Duque for acceding to our request that in fact the medical experts that give these recommendations from which IATF policies spring are ready to face the provincial board so that the provincial board shall be able to judge in a balanced manner. So we would welcome your presence, all of your medical experts, Secretary Duque, once the provincial board shall issue that invitation. And by the way, this is not a mere resolution. This is an ordinance. There's a difference.
Mr. President,
Mr. President.
That's already done.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. I hope we can resolve this concern issue and find common ground.
A towering presence, run like the wind. Be a king or a queen. Life in the Philippines.